Hello everyone, and let's do a wrap-up of sorts for, or tell you what my plans are for Sufferathon. Okay? Okay, so the prompts have dropped for week number 1 for Sufferathon. So you have 4 options. Each host has dropped a prompt. Well, and they're pretty much very similar. The big theme is basically everyone has packed way too much crap, and we now have to get rid of some of our stuff. Nice, huh? Everything we thought we needed, we have to unhaul. So for Amy, it's based on your outfit. If you're wearing something very colorful, you read the prettiest cover and the ugliest cover books. So 2 books, I believe. If I'm understanding Amy correctly, you know, sometimes these hosts are a little difficult to understand with Sufferathon. I'm kidding, Amy. Anyway, I'm getting paranoid about this. Anyway, so for Amy, so either you're reading, or if you're more bland, which I'm wearing just a black, pretty much. It's mostly black. The only other color is red, so I would be more drab and dull. So I have to unhaul books. It sounded like I need to unhaul 3 books, so I am going to unhaul 3 books. I have Loretta Lynn, Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn. This was my grandma's copy, and that is the only reason why I was holding on to it. I have no idea who this Loretta Lynn person is, and I have no desire to know who she is, really, honestly. And I talked to my mom about it, and she has the same decision. If my grandma were here, she would say, Christine, get rid of it and have the space on your bookshelf for a book you actually want to read and will enjoy. So I'm going to unhaul this. The other book I'm going to unhaul is Souvenirs from Paradise by Erin Langner. I gave this one 4 stars. I really did enjoy this. This is a collection of essays of people's experience, and all these people live in, I want to say it was Nevada. But honestly, the longer that sat on my shelf, it's like, I'm not going to reread this. This is just not something I'm going to reread. So I'm going to unhaul it. The other one I'm going to unhaul is The Chill by Scott Carson. I want a finished copy. This is an advanced reader's copy, so an ARC. I enjoyed this one. The way I do book reviews on my channel, I can't really do those reviews with ARCs, because an ARC, where it's an advanced reader's copy, it hasn't gone through the final editing. So there is a chance that certain things could change. So I would not feel comfortable doing a review for an ARC by saying the count of certain words, like the F-bomb, how many times it would be in there, where it could be omitted and I could be way off, or it could be added. So yeah, but I did enjoy this, and I want my own like finished copy of this. And I think I actually have a finished copy of this, if I remember correctly. But I don't need an ARC and a finished copy, so I will be unhauling this one. So these are the 3 that I am officially unhauling for Amy's prompt. And so Amy's is done. And you only have to do 1. I don't have to do whatever each co-host or host drops. I just have to pick one and do that one. But if you want to do more, you can. And that is what I'm going to do. So, okay, so then Erin's video that I saw was to take the number of books that you have read so far this year. I have read 146 books. You divide that number by 5. So for me, when I divide that by 5, I end up with 4.17. The instruction that Erin gave was then to round up to the nearest whole number. So 4.17 rounded up to the nearest whole number is number 5. And that's how many books I need to read from my September TBR. So if I don't read the books, then I've got to unhaul books. So basically, if I don't read the book, I have to unhaul the book. I can tell you this, I'll fight. I will fight. I am not unhauling these books. Well, there is one I'm more willing to unhaul it, because I'm kind of not all that interested. But that's only one of them. So, but what I'm going to do, because ARCs don't work for my reviews, I have picked, excuse the tissue, I have picked 5 random ARCs that I have. So what I have done is each of these books I have slotted an ARC and then if I don't read the said book from my TBR, then I will unhaul the ARC. I still want to get to all of these. I will still leave them as that I want to read them. I will just either check them out from the library or so that I can read the finished edition and feel like I'm doing a review properly or more properly than I would be able to with an ARC. Or I'll buy a finished copy depending on my interest level with the book. So the 5 books from my TBR, I have Teacher of the Year by M.A. Wardle. This fulfills a prompt in the Magical Readathon. If I do not read this book, I will unhaul the ARC. This one, The Lost Cause by Cory Doctorow. And the only reason I'm bending this rule is because I have fulfilled the prompt officially via Amy's prompt drop. So I'm twisting it, but I'm still fulfilling it in a way, but I'm twisting it just a little. Fight me on it, if you must. Throw me overboard, because we're on the Sufferathon cruise. Throw me overboard. The Lost Cause by Cory Doctorow. This was an ARC, and this was supposed to... See, it says uncorrected advanced. I don't even know when this one was supposed to come out. I don't see the date right off, but this one will be unhauled if I don't complete this one. If I do complete this one, this will go back onto my shelf. I'll still read it at some point if I can, and then I just won't end up doing a review for it type of a situation. I would rather do the review, but... Okay. The next prompt I have is a kind of spark. This is the selection. This also fulfills a prompt for the Magical Readathon and for my career choice. And this is the selection for the Autism Reads, which is a read-along that I host where we read a book by an author that is confirmed to be autistic every month. The link to that Discord is always in the description box. This is the selection for September. So if I happen to not get to this one, I have slotted A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Fazial to unhaul. This one, if I definitely want my own copy of this one. So more than likely what I'll do, because I'm like 99% sure I'll read this. So honestly, what I'm planning on doing is buying my own finished copy of this and then unhauling the ARC. But I would rather not until I have my own hard copy, physical copy of the finished one. But yeah, so that one will end up being unhauled if for some reason I don't get to this one. The next one on my September TBR that fulfills a group read for a different readathon and a prompt for the Magical Readathon, which is a book with a night sky, is The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane by Juliet Noble. If I don't read this one, this is the ARC that will get unhauled, which is The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Claiborne. I have a book by Kate Claiborne, which is a finished copy. This is the only one I have of hers that is an ARC. So I would much rather start with the finished copy, see if I enjoy it, and then decide. But yeah, so this one will get unhauled if I don't finish this one. And then I have, this is the one I'm on the fence. I do want to read it, but at the same time I'm kind of waffling. And this is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Pau Preto. I'm not sure how to say that. I don't know. There's just, it's like, it intrigues me, but at the same time, it does not. So I'm kind of on the fence. I would like to try this at some point. I am intrigued enough to try it, but if I do not read this one, I am going to be getting rid of or unhauling The Peacock and the Sparrow by I.S. Berry. So that's my thought on that. And again, it's just because I just can't do what I feel like to be a semi-proper review to be able to tell you what is contained in the book so that you know whether to avoid it or pick it up. So, and then the last book that I plan to get to in September is another group read. This one is for the Bookstara, and the selection for September is book number 2 in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and it's Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. So I'm planning on getting to this one. And if I don't, I will unhaul this one. Again, these were just random ARC grabs. I have like 2 shelves pretty much full of ARCs that I either need to, and they have all already been, like the final is already out and released. So A Right Worthy Woman, this one does sound really good and I do really want to get to this one, but I want to do what I feel like is a proper review with the content and the word counts, and I just can't do that with an ARC. So this one does say it went on sale June of 2023, so this has already been out for over a year now at this point. So I would like to get a finished copy of this one, but I'll unhaul the ARC if I don't get to Good Girl, Bad Blood. So these are the 5 books that are potential. I would like to hold on to them just a little bit longer, but potential unhauls for Erin's prompt drop. And I'm just going in alphabetical order. So Amy, Erin, now Paige, and then I'll do Wren. So Paige is to take the largest book you own. Where is my largest book? So the largest book you own on your September TBR. That's this one. A Time of Courage by John Gwynne. This is book number 3 in Of Blood and Bone, which is a high epic fantasy. Really want to get to this one. I love the series. I love John Gwynne's writing. So, yes, I really want to. So this has, I wrote it down, 674 pages. So you take the number of pages and you flip it. So 674 pages means I need to read 495 pages. So I did pick a book that fulfills that. This book is also on my TBR for September, and that is Jade City by Fonda Lee. This one has 495 pages, so it's not an exact 476 pages. It's just a little bit more, like 19 more pages. So, but if I do not read this, the other part of her pages prompt was like, if you don't do this and don't reach that page count, you need to unhaul 2 books. So I have picked 2 books to unhaul. So if I don't read Jade City by Fonda Lee, I have grabbed 2 random ARC books. These are all going to be ARCs to unhaul if I don't get to that. In no particular order, I have Winterland by Ray Meadows. This came out in November of 2022, so coming up on 2 years for this one. And Secret Rules to Being a Rock Star by Jessamine Violet. When was this one supposed to come out? April of 2023. So about a year and a half old, so yeah. Again, these are ones I would like a finished edition of, so that I can do the reviews that I like to do, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, so if I don't read Jade City by Fonda Lee in this first week of Sufferathon, these are the 2 that will be unhauled. Again, everyone did a great job on these videos. So I need to find a random... I do have a dice I can use, but it'll be easier just to do it on my phone. So I'm going to get a dice thrower. So I have a dice roller. Now, for Wren's video, they said that you take 8 books. I have 8 books here. All of these are ARCs. These are all different from the ones you've seen so far. So I have a potential of a lot of books to unhaul, all of which will be ARCs. Well, except for 2 of them, the ones for Amy's prompt drop. So for Wren's, it is to take 8 books, all of the different genres, or if you're going to do all the same genres, they have to have different tropes. So if you do all horror, you can do a horror romance, a horror slasher, a horror gore, a religious horror, different tropes. I went with all different genres. So I have a dice roller pulled up. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's on a 1, which is an odd number. And it is, when I roll the dice, if I get an even number, then I need to read the book. So I can put these back on my shelf. This is what I'm going to say that as. But try to get to it this month. We'll see. If I roll an odd number, then it's immediately just got to be unhauled. So let's go ahead and see if I get the chance to read these 8 books, or if I've got to say goodbye to these ARCs. And if I do get the chance to read these, again, I will not be doing a book review for these ones, just because things can change in the final editing process. So the first one I have, Small Game by Blair Braverman. These are pretty much random. I just looked at the genres. This is a thriller. So, okay, so remember I said it's already on a 1. Oh, it went away. Okay. So, oh, okay. So I'm not going to count that because I hit up here, and I'm going to show you what happens. See, it takes it away, and then it's expecting you to go, like, pick a different dice. Like, a 12-sided dice. Okay, click on that instead if I want an 8-sided dice. Okay, so the roll is down here. So let me get the 1-sided dice, or the 6-sided dice back up. And now we're going to do the official roll down here. There we go. A 2, which is what I had before. So even number, that means read. So I'm going to make a note, and I'm going to put even number. Okay, so this goes on to hopefully read. The next one I have is a historical fiction, and that is A Council of Dolls by Mona Susan Power. I hope to get an even, I really want to get an even number for this one. So let me set this one down and we'll do roll again. Sweet, a 6. Okay, even number. Okay, so I get to hold on to that one. Next, I have a romance, Fish Out of Water by Katie Rugel. This one was supposed to be released February of this year. A Council of Dolls was supposed to come out August of 2023, and Small Game November of 2022. Can you see why I'm like, So, okay, Fish Out of Water. Let's roll the dice. Even. That's a 2. Okay. Okay. Next I have Help Wanted by Adele Waldman. This one sounds funny, and I still want to read all of these, but some of them will just have to wait until I get a finished copy. So, okay, so number 2, let me put this one down because I don't want you to think I'm cheating or anything. A 6. Am I stuck with all even numbers on this? Even number. Okay. All right. Holding on to that one. Next, I have Old Cowboys Never Die. This is a Western. This was written by William W. Johnston and J.A. Johnston. Johnston. So... well, it's a different number. It's still an even, but it's a different number because it's been 2, 6, 2, 6. Now I have a 4. So even number. Okay. So these will end up being the arcs that I prioritize, I guess. The next one I have is a fantasy, and that is Big Bad by Lily Anderson. So let's roll the dice, see this book's fate. It's a 2. It is a 2. All right, another even. Okay. Next I have Reprieve by James Han Matson. This is a horror. So let's roll this dice. A 5. Oh my gosh, it's my first odd number. Okay. So this one will be unhauled. So odd. Okay, and this last potential is The Splinter in the Sky by Kemi Ashing Jiwa. I'm not quite sure how to say that one. This one was supposed to come out July of 2023. Oh, and Reprieve, October of 2021. Yeah. So this is another one I really, really, really want to read. So let's see what's going to happen, but I want the finished copy. So let's see what's going to happen with this dice. Oh, I didn't want a second dice. Okay. Roll. 6. It's an even. I'm keeping it. Okay. So, even. Okay, so out of that stack of 5 books, only one got an odd number. So, or out of those 8 books, excuse me. So, my official unhaul for week 1 of Sufferathon, as of right now, is 4 books. So, when I ultimately do the wrap-up for Sufferathon, I will let you know ultimately if I was able to read certain books, and if I did not read said books, then which books I ended up unhauling. So there will be another part to this, but I wanted to show you my potential TBR. So these are the 5 books that I am prioritizing for this week. If I don't get to those, then I have books on the floor. I'm not going to bend over and get them because my back is hurting. But I have 5 arcs, so each arc corresponds to one of these books. I do have it written down. And then I also have, oh, and Jade City I have put back up there, but that I will also try to prioritize. If I don't get to Jade City, then I have 2 books that are on the floor there that I will unhaul. So that is an additional 7 books. So right now I have 4. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That will be 11 books potentially unhauled just right there. And then, so that's between Amy and Paige's prompts, and as well as Erin's. Now the ones for Wren, when I watched their video, they didn't say that I have to read these books. It just said, well, they said read it or unhaul it. Potentially have to read them this week, but I am going to hold on to these books because I have unhauled one, especially because I have fulfilled with Amy's alone. So yeah, we'll see. And I may say, you know what, if I don't read these this week, then unhaul. I'll let you know for sure, kind of on the fence, because either way I want my own copies of these, but only out of those 8 books, only one got the odd number, so only one of them is getting unhauled right now. So yeah, that is it. That's my plans for what to be reading and prioritizing for week 1 of Sufferathon. I look forward to the next prompt drops, and I don't know if I will keep doing. I would like to. Depends on what they say. But I would like to do a video for each of the prompt drops and say, okay, these were the prompts that they dropped, and I will list their videos or their channels in the description box, as well as the announcement videos for the prompts as well, so you can watch them. Please watch those prompt drops. They are awesome. They all did a really, really good job. Honestly, they did a fabulous job with these. And then Paige's partner is in her video as well, so spoiler there, and he does a great job too. They all did a really good job. You can tell a lot of work has gone into this, and praises and kudos given to the creator and host, and also to the co-hosts on this. So thank you for doing such a great job. And those are the books I'm going to prioritize for this first week of Sufferathon. We'll see what I'm able to accomplish. So if I do a week 2 video of my potential priority TBR for week 2 of Sufferathon, I will let you know kind of as I go if I continue to do this. Obviously, if you're seeing this video, then you know that that's my plan. If I stick to it, we'll see. If I will say this, if I do this, then I am not planning on doing a overall wrap-up because I'm doing little mini potential TBRs, and then at the end of each one I would just do a little wrap-up for the final prompt drop of Sufferathon. So the next video, if I do this again, I will do a wrap-up of this one saying these are the ones I actually did end up unhauling because I did not get to these books, or I did. I'll let you know, and then I'll get into the prompts and my plans to fulfill said prompts for Sufferathon for that week, and then do it again. And then the last one, I'll just say this is the last one. After that, there will be a wrap-up for just that last prompt. So that is my plan. I know that some people will do, like for the Magical Readathon, they're planning on doing daily vlogs or weekly vlogs. This is the closest it's going to get to that, okay? This is the closest it's going to get to that. So, yeah, let me know if you are participating in Sufferathon, which I hope so. Misery loves company, and we all got to suffer together and get through this together, okay? So, who's suffering through the Sufferathon with me? And did you go with Wren's prompt drop? Are you fulfilling Wren's? Are you doing Paige's, Erin's, or Amy's? Let me know which one you're doing. Or are you going to be an overachiever like myself and try to do them all. So let me know, talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.